All right, welcome to our first episode of the Dish and Swish podcast. How we feeling, Trevor?
We're feeling good, man. Excited to be here.
So, Trevor and I were actually high school teammates. We hooped a little bit together. Trevor was obviously a lot better than I was.
I don't know about that.
Playing a little D2 ball over at Fort Collins. Also play a little bit of JUCO. He's an absolute bucket here, but one thing that we both share is a love for sports.
Yeah, it's what got us. I think it's what really got us started our friendship back in the day, and I was just kind of the scrub, following in your footsteps on our junior high team. But it really brought us together.
And that growth spurt all the way to 6'8" really helped out, didn't it?
Yeah, the short and tubby didn't really help me out, so now it's just the tall and tubby. So.
Yeah, I stuck with the short, which never really helped me, but it's all right. It's all good. But Trevor, why? I don't know. At least for you personally, what was the reason that you thought we should start a podcast?
I mean, it's kind of like I said, basketball's been such a big part of my life. It's brought me all around the country. It's taken me places. It's gotten me, a bunch of new friends. I've kind of found a passion with it, and especially with the fandom and talking about it. And I think my whole life outside of my family and my job is revolving around my interest in sports. And while my playing days are over now, sadly, I don't think I'll ever get that itch, gone, that I want to be a part of the sports world and the basketball world and really just follow and just in-depth analysis of it. And I don't know if that'll ever go away. I don't think it will.
No, I agree. I mean, the love for the game never ends. Even though, sometimes, you get injured, things happen, your career comes to an end, the love for the game is something that just, never dies.
Yeah, and with us being here in Salt Lake City, I think it's a fun place to be, especially in the basketball world. Both of us grew up here in Utah. It's not a big place, but I think it's kind of overlooked in the basketball world. I think there's a lot of good basketball players that come from Utah, and it's growing a lot. It's growing exponentially. It's been fun playing here, seeing high school players develop and play college, and a lot of guys that me and you even played against have played in college, and some have even gone pro. So it's fun to see how Utah's grown, but also be here in Salt Lake where the Jazz are, and I know you are a Jazz fan too. So kind of throw in our little bit of background on our fandom there, but just overall fans of the NBA altogether.
Yeah. And Trevor, I guess, kind of learned a little bit more about us, but I guess for you and for us, what is the main reason? What's the goal of this?
I just think it's hard for people. I just like to intake so much basketball analysis and knowledge. For me, I listen to a ton of podcasts every day during my job, during my drive. And I found some really good ones, but I feel like it's really hard to find relatable people who aren't either super professional, whether it's professional athletes or, professional media members, where they have all their podcasts. And that's where the market is really saturated. And it's hard to, as a common guy walking down the street as an average Joe, to listen to these podcasts and relate, because I never played pro basketball or whatever it is. It's hard to relate because a lot of these media members and these pros have been around it. And while their podcasts are great, it's hard for an average Joe to really just delve into the basketball knowledge. And I think that's really where we want to come in, is to show the world kind of hey, the average guy knows hoops too. The average couch GM, while I hate them sometimes, sometimes they have good points. And, me and you probably have played basketball against, and at a high level. I know we both have, but I would say that it's really important for us to share our knowledge, because even if it's just a fun thing to do, I just like to intake knowledge and give what I know.
No, I agree. And I'm in the same boat. Listen to lots of podcasts, but I feel like there wasn't that one podcast where like I could really relate to, the people who were giving it, because I'm not an NBA player. I'm not like that. I wish I was. I really wish I was. But I guess we hope as a podcast to help people to kind of feel that connection.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just really important to show that everyone kind of has a voice. I don't think a lot of people get an opportunity or think it's possible to do it, even if it's something for fun. Like, if no one listens to this, who cares?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if it's something you're passionate about, then go after what you're passionate about. Like, especially if it's sports, because sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So obviously, if there's that much money in it, there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of fans from around the world. And so I think it's just, doing what you love. And now that, me and you are retired partly, it's time to just get out there and, share what we know.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Alrighty.
Let's get into it. So there was a little bit of a lull. Obviously, the finals happened, and we've kind of had this FIBA World Cup going on that we've been able to watch and enjoy. So a couple days ago, the USA had their first loss of the tournament. So tell me a little bit more, Trost.
So, wow. First of all, that's I would say shocking, but it's not really. I think I knew they were going to lose at some point. I think the big thing was they had such an easy schedule to start. I won't want to say easy because, Greece or New Zealand aren't easy teams, when it's like, these guys playing for their country, but they weren't playing, France or Australia or these big name teams with a lot of pro guys. So I think I kind of knew it was coming at some point. Did I think it was to Lithuania? Probably not. Mm-hmm. But I did think it was coming. And I think you could tell by the Montenegro game that things were kind of going downhill. And then Lithuania, they opened so poorly. And they tried to fight back the rest of the game because they got in such a hole. I just think there's a lot of problems. It's hard because we expect these pros to go over and just be so good because they're NBA pros and they're this. But I think there's a lot of underlying things that you got to take into account. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think in the Montenegro game and in the Lithuania game, I mean, they featured two NBA big men in like Nikola Vucevic, and we saw obviously Jonas Valanciunas in the Lithuania game, and that's I think the one weakness that we see for the USA is that very undersized, and they got out-rebounded. They got destroyed. Even though they won the Montenegro game, I think they were out-rebounded by almost like plus 20, and it was something very similar in the Lithuania game. But I mean, one key thing that I guess the USA has seen throughout the tournament is that Anthony Edwards is a star.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's come into his own. He's averaging over 20 points a game in the tournament. In the Lithuania game, even though they lost, I think he put up 35. He had a huge game. But, I mean, with that, I think comes like another key weakness that I think we see with the United States.
Yeah, no, they don't have a great second option. And I don't think I saw that coming because when you look at the names that they have, mm-hmm. a lot of those guys are like, there's some stars or budding stars on the team. And did I think that Anthony Edwards was going to be the best player? I could have seen that, mm-hmm. but I don't think I would have picked it out. I think there's bigger names. Brunson was a fringe all-star this year, and I thought he would be a great player. Mm-hmm. You had Brandon Ingram, who's a great player for the Pelicans. You have all these guys and these names, and when you're looking at their points per game, you're seeing that, wow, I don't know if it's the minute distribution or mm-hmm. if it's just the looks that these guys are getting, but behind 20.2 points per game, what's the next? 10?
Yeah.
That's a big drop off.
My boy Austin Reeves. Shout out Austin Reeves.
Shout out to Austin Reeves, the Lakers legend.
Yeah, honestly. And so I guess, I mean, with all these difficulties, I guess we can kind of look to the future. We can kind of see, I guess, what's coming up for the United States. I think tomorrow they play Italy. I mean, despite losing to Lithuania, they qualified for the quarterfinal. So, I mean, maybe give us a forecast of what we should be looking for in USA basketball in these next couple of days.
Well, they got to rebound. I mean, we talked on it before, and Jaren Jackson Jr. has to stay out of foul trouble. I mean, the average fan knows that Jaren Jackson Jr., the Defensive Player of the Year, cannot stay out of foul trouble. That dude is a menace. So he's so good. It's a shame because he's so gifted, and I love watching him play.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they have their backup bigs that they're playing. Shout out to Walker Kessler, Utah Jazz guy, but Bobby Portis and Walker Kessler isn't playing very much, and Paolo is your 4 or 5 or small ball 5, and we know Steve Kerr loves his small ball 5s, but it's not going to get it done against a Valanciunas or a Vucevic. Those guys can rebound; they're bangers.
Yeah.
They're down there battling in the post, and if you don't have a guy out there that wants to battle, I'm sorry, but Josh Hart he works his butt off, but he's not going to out rebound Valanciunas. He's not.
Yeah.
So you got to find the fine line, especially against Italy, whose roster is kind of sort of made up of pros across Europe, right? The best player, their leading scorer right now, with I think is over 20 a game. Maybe it might be 18.
18-ish, yeah.
Yeah, is Simone Fontecchio from Utah. Which shout out the Jazz again, but he's playing like the real deal. So we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, so I agree. And watching like the Lithuania game, you could see Triple J getting into foul trouble early, picking up those 2 early fouls. But yeah, I guess that's kind of one thing that they'll have to worry about. I mean, on their side of the bracket, I guess. I mean, I think they're looking pretty good against Italy. I think that's a game that they should win. But I mean, after that, they're taking the winner of Germany-Latvia. Germany undefeated. Dennis Schroeder's been playing out of his mind.
If he plays.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The coach better back off. Touch me again.
And then you got the Mo Wagner and Franz Wagner playing super well. So I mean, that would be a tough matchup what would be the semifinals if the USA will make it there. And then I guess on the other side of the bracket, we see Lithuania and Serbia, Slovenia, and Canada. And so, I mean, there's some good teams that the USA is going to have to go up against. So I guess, what do you think the United States' chances are of winning it all? Do you think this was a wake-up call from Lithuania, or do you think that they're going to, cave under pressure?
That's a good question. I think that it's a wake-up call.
Okay.
I think that they bounce back against Italy. I could see it going the other way. I could see it either being a wake-up call and they play their best basketball, or they crash and burn.
Yeah.
But to me, they're just too deep. From top to bottom, that's a solid roster for the USA. I think they're the probably most well-rounded. Maybe Canada, maybe. Yeah. Besides the U.S., Germany obviously is good, but I don't know. I think their roster is really well rounded. The problem is when you have 14 or 12 or however many dudes, and they try to get them all playing time, it's hard for guys to get in a rhythm. Yeah. If you're playing, they're so used to these NBA. All of them for their respective teams are playing over 30 a night.
Yeah.
And so maybe half of them are playing 20 a night in the right. Is FIBA 20-minute halves or 10-minute quarters?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard to get in a groove, especially as a player. When I played, it's hard to play in a groove and just, once you get out there, if you're just taking consistent breathing, breaks. So, but I think they win. I think they can win. I think they beat Italy. Germany, that second round, if Germany pulls it off, obviously, Germany, that's not a given against Latvia with Davis Bertans, the shooter. But
the man himself.
Yeah, I think that they win. I think the USA wins the first round. I think they make it to the championship and lose to Team Canada. That's my prediction. Dang. Bold, not really bold because Canada's been dominating, but that's my prediction.
Okay, well, we'll see.
We will see.
Only time will
Watch
tell,
me be wrong and they lose first round to Italy just because Simone goes off.
We trust USA. They're gonna pull it out. They're gonna pull it out for sure. But I guess some interesting things I guess that we've seen with this USA team that we haven't really seen before is, I mean, I think the oldest player on the United States is 28 years old. So we got a young group. I guess, I mean, in the past we've kind of had more, I mean, stars. We've seen like the faces of the league play.
Bobby Portis is 28.
Bobby Portis is 28.
I thought he was like 36.
He got that veteran look to
him,
right?
Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry.
No, but no, I think it's definitely interesting. We've seen the LeBrons, we've seen the Kobes, we've seen the D Wades, the Kevin Durant's on the team, but now we kind of just see like a reload on talent, like a fresh set. We've seen kind of the next generation of stars of what it's going to look like maybe in the next 4 or 5 years in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone ever doubted that Anthony Edwards was a star, like they should just watch. Like he is incredible.
Yeah.
It makes me think he's going to take the T-Wolves to the next level, or T-Wolves trade him, but to Jazz. But no, I think they are transitioning to this younger model. Why do you think these? Everyone asks why is the Kevin Durant's or the LeBrons or the whoever, why are they not? Why do you think they're not playing?
I mean, I guess we've seen a little bit more of like load management in the off season, and I think even more than that, I think maybe as a coaching staff, I guess they maybe saw like maybe a time to like transition, pass the torch on to maybe a new group of guys. And so maybe like I don't know exactly what's going on, but I hope that this experience that they're getting, I mean, no matter what happens, is good for the future of USA basketball. And then hopefully we can see this like talent continue to mature and become better, kind of grow into their own, and hopefully Team USA is in good hands for a while.
Yeah. When is the next Olympics? 2024? Is it 26 or 24?
24, I think.
24.
I think we're coming up on it.
So I think one thing that's been confusing to me, this is the World Cup, right? The World Cup. Why do these stars come out for the Olympics, but not for the... Why is it fair that these, Bobby Portis is on the team now, but I'm going to guarantee for the Olympic roster in 2024, a lot of the bigger names come out, right? That's when you'll see, your younger stars, whether it's like Jimmy Butler or, these bigger names than, Cam Johnson or, Josh Hart. Not that Brunson, Bridges, Halliburton aren't great players, but usually we see for the Olympics, the U.S. sends some of their dudes. So I don't know what, the draw is. I guess maybe a gold medal.
Yeah.
But
that's a good thing to put on the resume.
Add a gold medal.
Nothing wrong with that.
But we're not seeing, the Jason Tatums, the, Joel Embiid, all. I guess he's for France now. Is that
Cameroon?
I think he got a France citizenship now, so he could do either one.
We'll see.
But we're not seeing these as big of names for the FIBA World Cup, so it makes me think that the stars don't care as much about it. But hopefully we see them in the Olympics because. I mean, I remember as a kid watching, LeBron, D Wade, Kobe. Oh my gosh.
The Redeem team was nice.
That was great.
Those are some good days.
Great time.
The old videos with them in the McDonald's, Those were the days.
Man, the Banana Boat Crew.
The Banana Boat Crew.
The Banana Boat Crew. But, so I think it's kind of just transitioning to the younger generation too. I think you can group a lot of guys in the league with this group as well. I think Jason Tatum, right, is in the younger stars grouping. I don't think the LeBrons or the Steph Currys or the Klay Thompsons or the older stars are going to come out maybe anymore to the Olympics. I think they would rather have their off seasons to chill. But I think the younger group of stars, the Tatums, the Jaylen Browns, these younger stars come out for the Olympics.
Yeah, and that's interesting. I guess they put more into the NBA season. I guess they value the NBA season a little bit more, which is kind of interesting from some of the comments that we heard from a 3-time gold medalist on Team USA. What can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So yeah, I'm sure everyone saw the videos. I mean, every NBA player it felt like was responding to him, so it was all over social media. With Noah Lyles, the track star, three-time gold medalist.
I think so.
Yeah, after winning, I think
Yeah.
he won, and then in his post-run press conference, he's wearing a Team USA shirt, and he says, the thing that makes him the most hurt, is it most hurt?
Yeah, I think the most hurt.
The most hurt. I don't want to misquote him here.
Yeah.
The thing that makes him the most hurt is that the NBA calls themselves the world champions when they win.
Yeah.
That's the most hurt?
What do you? I guess like what do you think about those comments? What comes to mind? Do you think he's right? Do you think that's valid, or do you think that's kind of out of pocket for him to say?
You can make this a TikTok. You can put the Denver Nuggets against any team in the world, and they will win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read this about soccer. You know, the Europeans do the Champions League and stuff. But I'm telling you, the reason that they call themselves world champions is because why do you think the best European players come? Because it's the best league in the world.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's not going to be in Europe in soccer, you'll have the best players spread out between leagues.
Yeah.
That's not how it is in the United States.
No.
We don't have, there's not a secondary league. People in Europe can say, well, the Premier League's the best league, but maybe Serie A or whatever, these other ones can be, they have comparable talent.
Yeah.
PSG can go beat Real Madrid, or, La Liga teams can beat, Premier League teams.
Yeah.
In the USA, any NBA team would smack, I'm saying this, a European team. And that's nothing. These European pros, they're real dudes.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, there's some dudes.
Yeah, they're nice.
But there's a reason that these best European pros are trying to come over to the United States. It's because it's the best. So, I mean, in a way, I can see what he's saying, but the most hurt, come on, bro.
Yeah, so we got, if you think about it, I think you could say like 4 or 5 of the best players in the NBA aren't from the United States. Like you got Luka, you got Joel Embiid, you got Giannis, you got like all these players who are,
So then it comes down to this.
Yeah.
Do these players, does Luka or Jokic or Giannis or, Embiid, all these guys from out of country, do they care more about their Olympic gold medal or do they care about an NBA championship ring?
I think we've seen it. Jokic just won a ring, Giannis, who's pushing to get a ring. And obviously I feel like people care about their countries and, they want to put on for their countries, but I think when it really comes down to it, I think, champion of the world, I think that's a valid claim that you're the best in the world if you win the NBA championship.
I agree.
The NBA finals.
I agree. That's really all out there is to say. I don't know. Like, I understand. Like, he's out there running, and don't get me wrong. In track and field, that's crazy because dudes come out to represent.
He's out there cooking.
But that is like there's no freaking club teams for track. I mean, maybe there is. Sorry if I'm wrong, but I'm not. It's not like. So that is their world championship.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but these guys fighting for NBA rings, that is their world championship. You know how many guys in Europe would kill to be on an NBA team fighting for a ring?
Yeah.
Call yourself world champions.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll let it slide.
I mean, Durant and Booker and Haslam and all these guys apparently had a problem with it. Drake.
Yeah.
Shout out Drake.
And even Evan Fournier got in on it and said he agreed with it. So you see both sides coming from the NBA, which is kind of interesting. So
Evan Fournier released.
Yeah, that's tough. It's all right. Maybe they didn't like his comments or something.
Shout out to the Knicks. Really having the NBA's back. Was he on the Knicks? Is that right?
Yeah. It's been a tough couple of years for the Knicks, I guess.
Yeah.
It's all right.
So that kind of brings us to our next segment here.
Yeah, let's get it.
So we want to try to do a random news segment every week. Hopefully, most people haven't heard of this because I hadn't heard of it until I read it.
Getting deep in our bag.
Deeper in the sports world bag.
Yeah.
So, Serbian player, they're playing versus South Sudan. Mm-hmm. Shout out South Sudan, made the first Olympics ever for the country. Yeah. Shout out South Sudan. I had some of my teammates at D2 and at my JUCO that played from South Sudan. I can tell you it means a lot for their country. Anyway. Borisa Simanic.
Simanic? I don't know.
Takes an elbow.
Yep. What happens?
Goodbye to your kidney.
Dang. Is that something that you've heard of before? Is that like...
I don't know if I've ever heard of a player taking a bow.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the video.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
I've seen it, yeah.
It didn't look too egregious either.
No, and I've seen pretty bad elbows, I feel like, in, watching the NBA.
I took one in junior college from my own teammate one time.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die.
Uh-huh.
I thought I was going to lose a kidney. I really did. Shout out to Dane Prim. If he ever hears this, bro, that dude hit me one time. He's the best player I've played with at junior college. Dude was an All-American. He hit me one time with an elbow. I really thought, like, I was going to die. Like, I really did. I went home. I thought I broke my sternum. Like, I thought I was down. I don't know if I've ever been hit hard enough to think. I mean, maybe I thought I would lose a kidney, but this dude actually did.
Well, yeah. You can't make that claim anymore because Borisa Simanic, he actually did it. So hopefully, I mean, that's tough. I mean,
shout out to him. Hopefully he gets
recovers.
better. Yes.
Hopefully everything's okay. And yeah, I mean, hopefully Serbia does well. I mean, they got Lithuania first round, but
that's yeah.
I mean, they got Jovic and Bogdanovic over there.
Yeah, that's a good little team actually.
Yeah.
It's too bad the big man's not playing.
Yeah.
Best player in the world.
All right, that's I guess that's our random news.
That's our random news segment. Shout out to Borisa. Well, hopefully that's how you say it, Simanic. Yeah. So get well soon. We actually do feel bad.
Yeah, that's tough.
I actually feel bad for all the times I thought I was going to lose a kidney, and now he actually did. So hopefully the doctors in the Philippines can take care of him. Yeah. Supposedly there was a complication, so hopefully he's good. Yeah. Shout out to his teammates for saying they donate. Would you donate blood for me?
I guess so. I mean, if his teammates will, I guess I gotta be that type of teammate,
Thanks.
But yeah, I guess we'll move to our final. I think our most anticipated segment of the day, which is going to be our Dish and Swish draft.
Okay.
So how it's going to work is we're going to take Team USA talent, and we're going to be GMs, couch GMs. We're right here on the couch, and you're going to choose your top 5, and I'm going to choose my top 5, and we'll see who wins. Okay.
So we're taking Team USA.
We're taking Team USA only.
Okay.
So if you're a GM, you're gonna start your franchise.
Starting a franchise around a player.
Who are you picking up? And so let's go number 1 pick, and we'll go back and forth. See if we agree. See if we disagree. We'll talk.
Let's work from the bottom.
We'll work from the bottom.
Yeah.
Hit 5 first.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Adds a little suspense.
Okay, perfect.
I think the 5th player. Hold on, let me think about this first. I gotta make sure I got my order right.
Yeah.
And we're talking age. All these considerations.
All the
if I'm building
you're taking this current player for next season. Start your team with.
Who. I'm gonna say, oh man, that's a good list too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say at number 5. Oh man, there's some good dudes on the list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jalen Brunson.
Okay. Why Jalen Brunson, huh?
Dude was a fringe all-star last year.
Okay.
And let's just not even talk about how he single-handedly cooked the Jazz 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think he's a solid point guard to build around. Yeah. He's been a solid player. The dude playing off 2 feet, the whole Villanova, getting the paint, jump stop, bro, that is clean. Yeah. He's a fun player to watch. I don't think he's 27, so I think that kind of moves him lower to the list. If he was younger, I think he'd be higher. But yeah, I think he'd be that's why he's got the 5th spot for me. Who's your number 5?
I think if I were to start a franchise tomorrow, I think in number 5, I think I'm taking Jaren Jackson Jr.
Wow.
I just think, we got the shot blocker. You can guard 1 through 5. He slides his feet pretty well, switches those high pick and rolls, which is something you see a lot in the NBA today, the dribble handoffs and everything. So I feel like he's a versatile defender who can also, I think he's a really good second option on the team on offense. He gets buckets, he gets offensive rebounds, he can shoot the 3 a little bit.
Yeah. He just fell out of my list. He's number 6.
Yeah.
It was tough for me because I feel like him and Brunson, he has the age on his side, and he's such a versatile defender. But I mean, Brunson's scoring is pretty legit. But all right, who you got at number 4?
I think at number 4, I got to go with my guy, Austin Reeves.
Wow. Reeves made the top 5?
He made my top 5.
This is Laker.
Maybe I'm a little high on Austin
Laker homage,
Reeves.
right? Homage.
I was just watching the playoffs, and man, he stepped up. He's getting to the free throw line. You know, he jump stops, gives a little pump fakes, getting those and ones. He got that crazy left-handed and one against Lithuania yesterday.
I will say that he has looked like he's looked clean in the Team USA. He's doing moves. I'm like, wow, that's in his bag.
I mean, he's their second leading scorer. It's honestly refreshing to watch someone, you know, like who went undrafted, who maybe didn't get the recognition that he probably did deserve, to, you know, go from undrafted to second leading scorer on Team USA.
No, I agree. 100%.
And so I think, I mean, he's young, and I think he's just only going to get better, which is kind of exciting to watch.
No, 100%. For my number 4, Mikal Bridges.
Okay. Yeah.
I think his story this year was pretty insane to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, got traded and, you know, behind Durant, right?
Yeah.
Was easily the best player in the trade and the most valuable asset behind Durant, obviously. Yeah. And I think it actually worked out pretty well for the Nets. I think there's a lot of people who would value having Mikal Bridges on their team.
Yeah.
A 3-and-D guy who I don't even know what he averaged down the stretch, 25 plus?
He was putting up some 40 pieces.
Yeah.
At the end of the season once he got traded.
He is 27, so he's a little up there, you know, with age-wise building around. But it's always good to have a Mikal Bridges on your team.
Yeah. And like watching some of the games, he's a great scorer, but I think he's that much better on defense. Like, he's got those long arms, like he's blocking shots, he's guarding the best player on the other team, which is just something that you don't see.
He's doing this while dropping 40 balls.
Yeah. It's something you don't see. You don't see a primary option guarding the best player a lot as much as like you used to see, I guess.
Yeah, that's just exciting. That is exciting stuff.
Exciting.
So with no further ado.
Yeah, no further ado.
My number 3.
Okay.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay. Yeah.
Max contract. Big name. He's got to live up to the money. I think he can do it.
Yeah.
He's a hooper.
Yeah.
He came into the league. What was he? The 4th pick?
Yeah, he went to the Kings.
The Kings with the 4th. Bro, he has made a splash. He's gonna be a star. His shot may look a little weird, like his form and stuff, but he is a hooper.
Yeah.
He's young. How old is he? 23?
Yeah.
Some people might have, you know, Jaren Jackson or Brandon Ingram or Austin Reed. Bro, I'm telling you, Halliburton is a guy of the future. He will be a star. He's going to make an all-star game in the next 3 years.
Yeah. No, I agree. He's nice with it. I think, I guess for my 3, maybe you haven't really seen it in Team USA, but I really like Brandon Ingram. Like, he's maybe had a disappointing showing for Team USA, but on the Pelicans, he's that lanky scorer. He can get a shot off over anyone. He's tough to defend.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've always been a Brandon Ingram fan. I've just been disappointed with his Team USA output for sure.
Like, I was thinking like number 1, maybe number 2 option, but I mean, I think he's putting up, I don't know, 5-ish points a game.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more from him on Team USA, but I think
100%.
If I was a GM, I'd love to build around someone like Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. I think Ingram has a lot of the intangibles that you want in a player. He's, you know, good size, can score. I don't know, man. I've just been really disappointed with how he's played, and I don't know if it's just the Team USA fit, but I'm hoping that he bounces back in this next season in the NBA, because I was really hoping he'd be a solid pick. So, who's number 2?
Number 2, I gotta go Paolo Banchero.
I agree with you there.
He's young.
I agree with you there.
He looks comfortable. Like, a guy who's only 20 years old. Like, he looks like, he's playing with the best of them, and he looks like, I don't know, that he's gonna be a star. I think he's gonna play really well, and he gets the shots that he needs in Orlando.
Yeah.
He can kind of do whatever he wants.
No, that's where we agree. We're different on the first three, but I think we're going to be the same on the last two. Paolo is by far the second most. I mean, he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I think, what was he, rookie? He was rookie of the year.
Yeah.
And 18 a game, 20 a game, somewhere in there.
20 a game, yeah.
That's just absurd at 20 years old. And he had a nice little spin move dunk the other day. That was just insane. I really keep thinking about that. I'm like, wow, that was like it's dribble, spin, off to, yeah.
Just like you in your prime, right?
Maybe like 40 pounds ago. But
yeah.
I think, yeah, he's by far, if I was a GM building, yeah. And I think that's what the Magic are doing.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the Magic do in the next couple of years. But
yeah, he's a good piece for sure to build around because he has some high upside. The guy's a goer. He was fun to watch in college too.
Yeah. All right.
Number one.
Home, Trost.
I mean, I think without any doubt in any listener's mind is that Anthony Edwards is the number one guy to build around on the list. There's no debate. I mean, who would you even? Paolo maybe, but come on. Let's be real. Trade the house and get some people around Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I agree. I think Anthony Edwards will be the face of the NBA in the next couple years. Like, I think
22 years old.
He's young.
He's younger than us. The dude is a dog.
Makes me feel like I haven't done anything with my life.
Bro, that dude is... And he has like this mindset that he wants to be the best at everything he does.
Yeah, you just see him like even though like they lost against Lithuania, like he wanted the shot down the stretch. He was coming off screens looking to get his cuz he just trusts himself. He knows like there's no one else that he'd rather have shooting the ball than himself, you know. He's got that Kobe mentality.
Does he have the leadership mentality that the Timberwolves need to take the next step?
We'll see. I mean, we saw it a little bit in the Denver Nuggets series. I think the Timberwolves were like honestly one of the hardest tests for the Nuggets. Like,
I agree.
Even though they were a first round series, you got Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, I don't know. I think the future is really bright for Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. So I hope this is a trampoline to hopefully get him to the next level in his career.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Ant is a star. I think that he will be a superstar. I think he could, really push MVP status in not so many years, maybe soon, couple years.
Yeah, will we see that maybe next year?
Will we see it? And I hope so because I feel like he's such a likable,
he's a
likable pro. So I hope so. I hope that Ant, is able to take the T-Wolves to the next level, or they get some help around him. Shout out Gobert helping the Jazz rebuild with all their draft picks. But I really do like Anthony Edwards. I think it's easy to root for him.
All right, so I guess we'll see with Team USA. I guess.
Yeah, verdict is Team USA losing in the championship to Canada. What's your prediction?
I think they're taking it.
Whoa!
I think they're going all the way. I think this is a wake up call. I think they get it together.
Who do they play in the championship?
I think they're playing some Luka Magic.
Okay, fair. It's hard to bet against Luka.
Yeah. So, yeah, they took a loss last week. So, hope to see them bounce back, and I think that'll be a fun game to watch. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And hopefully people listen to this podcast. Hopefully we can, spread our name around. For those who actually listened long enough to hear this at the end of the podcast, we got some big things coming. We got some exciting news. We're going to have some giveaways, some drawings, some,
So stay tuned.
Memorabilia.
Stay tuned.
Jazz fans especially might want to tune in. I got some good sports memorabilia on the way in our giveaway. Shout out to Amadeus over here for hooking us up with everything here. This is Dish and Swish. We're just getting started.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Let's go.